I get shit done, I have fun, it's my time and I'm the one, I'm breaking through.
Using LinkedIn to get the snowball effect. Now, I live in Canada, we do make snowballs, but that's not what this is all about. We do reference the snowball effect, though, but not in a way that you probably think. My guest is going to explain what that really means. So using LinkedIn to get the snowball effect. So welcome to the show. I'm the host, Coach Phil. If you're watching this live, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. And if you're watching us on a replay, thanks for doing that. Appreciate that as well. And if you've got some feedback, good, bad, and or the ugly, please send it our way because that's how we get better. And if you like what we're about, please share this out. You just never know whose lives this might impact. What else am I supposed to do? I'm in Calgary, Alberta, and we have the Calgary Stampede. It's a crazy cowboy event, kind of like Mardi Gras for cowboys. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, let's get on with the show. I have a shameless plug in and around what I do. So let me play that, and then we'll get right back to the show. So you can get your business growth score going to coachphil.ca. Click on the top left right-hand button side of the website. There's a button called Business Growth. Click on that. The assessment is there, complimentary. Find out whether you're on track to where you want to get to. If there's something that stands out that you get identified that you want to go fix. And if you want to have a complimentary conversation, I can help you with that. And again, no credit card required. It's absolutely free, a 20-minute conversation in and around what your assessment is. And if I'm not the guy who could help you with it, I'm part of a network of a number of coaches around the globe that I can make an introduction, and they'd be happy to give you 20 minutes of their time to give you an idea of what that all means. Anyway, I'm going to try something new on the show today to introduce my esteemed guests. So bear with me as I make that happen. Oh, sure, technology didn't work. There it goes. The Snowball Effect, Mastering the Art of Storytelling. Meet Angie Snowball, founder of the Snowball Effect, empowering professionals to tell their stories. She was once a corporate jet setter and noticed her colleagues struggling to communicate effectively. In 2010, she founded Living in America, where she was helping professionals master the English language. Her passion involved empowering professionals to find perfect words for marketing and networking. The Snowball Effect offers full-service communication consulting. LinkedIn became her playground, offering optimization, coaching, and strategy development. Angie stays on the cutting edge of LinkedIn as an active member of the LinkedIn creator community. Join Angie Snowball and myself for an electrifying live stream event and become a master storyteller. Your story deserves to be heard. Don't miss this extraordinary opportunity with the Snowball Effect. On the Business Renovator. So I tried something new. I thought it kind of cool. And I do have the Snowball Effect gal here. So let's not wait any longer. Let's bring Angie Snowball up. Good morning and welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for making me look so famous too with your fancy video. I love it.
It's amazing what you can do with technology today. And one of the things that we're going to talk about in technology is LinkedIn, which started out as a job search place, which has morphed into way more than that, right?
Correct.
It's kind of snowballed
It's snowballed. Now it's time for you to snowball and use it, right?
Cool. Do you know this word?
I do. Hey,
There you
Rebecca. Thanks for joining.
Wait, look out. Here's somebody I know.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
look, we
I
had
know
great
her
feedback
too.
on the intro. That's awesome. We'll just say hi to a few people here.
Well,
Thank
hey,
you.
Lucas. I haven't heard from him in forever. Good to see you, man.
And another shout out from Izzy.
Izzy, hello.
So we've only what I find in my the business renovator conversations is that the time evaporates like evaporated milk. I don't know if that's true or not, but like water for sure. And we'll talk about a few things, but we won't get it all done. However, let's do what we can to impart some snowball wisdom on people that are taking time out to have a listen to you. So tell us a little bit about how you got into what you're doing.
Well, like you said, I've been on LinkedIn, I don't even know, 20 forever, like most people, because it started out as a job search thing, and didn't really use it. And then shortly before, when COVID went down and nobody had anything else to do, right? I was teaching English as a second language with my first company living in America. And of course, all the businesses were like, no, thank you. Everybody out. We didn't know when we were getting back in. So I thought, okay, how am I going to do this online? And who needs me most? And I thought the place where you're most needed as an English teacher is going to be places that there are not a lot of native speakers to teach. So I looked towards Japan. I had some automotive connections from the past, and I just kind of started this strategy of like, I wonder how I could probably meet that guy and talk to him and tell him, hey, I could do native speaking classes. I have the business experience. If only I could get to that person. So that's when I really started to get into LinkedIn and get into a strategy. And after about 3 months, I had the conversation with that person. I did give a 12-week course with a large automotive company in Japan to the executives, and everybody started asking me, how did you do that in the middle of COVID? And I said, well, it's common sense. But I have a brilliant focal point business coach that said, no, it's not common sense, Angie. More people would like to know how you did that. So I just started taking a lot of courses on LinkedIn, doing a lot of research, taking my own marketing background, merging it all together to find the simplest way to make LinkedIn work for everyone in a very organic way. I'm not a salesy person.
You're not a salesy person?
No, I like friends. I like to build relationships. I like to meet people. I've had a blast working with you because you're just fun. That's what I really enjoy doing is like helping people. I know it sounds cliche. Everybody wants to do that, but it really does make me happy. Like when I can work with fun people and build a relationship. So that's kind of my strategy that I teach on LinkedIn. It's that age old know, like, trust. It's the same strategy as we always do in networking.
I'd like to correct you if I may.
Yes, please.
I think you're a professional seller. And what I mean by that is you're not a pitcher. You're actually leading from the heart. You're a solution provider for problems that you've identified. And in my eyes, that's professional selling.
Well, thank you. Now I have
You're
another title for myself. I'm a
There you go.
professional seller. Yeah, but exactly what you said. And that's how I like to do LinkedIn. What are your solutions? What problems do you solve? Let's find the people that have those problems and let's tell them about what we know, right? So that when they're ready, they know who to go to. You know your stuff. You know what you're talking about.
Why did you pick LinkedIn?
Because I hate social media. I really do. Like everybody, I'm old. I do Facebook, right? Like all the other old people to keep in touch with my family. Cause I lived, away from my hometown for a long time. So it was a good way to keep in touch with people, and Facebook's fun, but I hate the benchmarks that you put up there. Everybody sees all the awesome stuff and the not so awesome stuff. And I'm not sure how I feel about social media getting so much into our world. And then it got more, right? Then it was Snapchat, and then it's TikTok, and there's just more. And I thought there's just so much noise out there. But when I looked at LinkedIn, that their main purpose is to be educational. What they really strive for, so they have this thing basically like a report card, the social selling index, and everything on there is to show that you are a professional that is trying to build professional relationships and start conversations. That's what LinkedIn tries to do. So I really respect that B2B professional platform of things. And we got to use technology, right? And social media is a great, wonderful tool, but that's why I chose LinkedIn, because of the relationship building and the professionalism.
Yeah, I like what you're talking about. I like LinkedIn for the very same reasons. The other thing I like about LinkedIn is the people that connect like they would connect in person.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is they don't say, hey, I'd love to connect with you. And then you do the connection and then boom, they're right into non-professional selling. They're pitching right away. It's I have this offer. I can help you make $30,000 more a month. I can help you find 10,000 more clients, all that kind of stuff. They don't even know me yet. I might not want any more. Right.
That's true. That's true. I get a lot of people that try to help me find employees. They want to help me hire people. And like you said, they don't know me. I already did that. I don't ever want to do that again. I'm doing this business in a whole different way because I'm too empathetic and I didn't enjoy having all that on me. Like, well, this business, I wouldn't care about things that go in business for me, but I cared about, wow, all these other people are relying on me to do this business. And it just wasn't for me. I mean, it's for a lot of people. It's not for me. But like you said, these people keep saying, we'll help you hire. And like, I don't ever want to hire. If you took the time to know me, you would know that. So there's still a lot of that on LinkedIn, but I think they're trying really hard to get rid of that. And you somewhat know, because a lot of it comes in mail. And if you get an in mail, you don't know me. So that's kind of a warning sign to me right there.
So that's a clue for everybody to pay attention. It looks like I'm not looking at you. I am. My pen got up and walked away.
Oh, no.
I know.
Hate when that happens.
I do. So that's going to take me off camera. And my video coach will be, if he was here watching, he'd be screaming at me. Anyway, screaming at me in my head because I know I'm not supposed to do that. So anyway, I'm sorry. Roy.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's cool. I've distracted myself. In and around the power of LinkedIn. And one of the things in your bio that we looked at is that you talk about LinkedIn's the ultimate platform for B2B storytelling.
Yeah. So I think that is the best way to sell something, is to tell your story. So we just talked about, what problem do you solve? Who has those problems? Well, that connection's not going to be made unless your story's heard. So there's, you can tell your story through newsletters on LinkedIn, through posts, through videos. There's lots of ways to tell your story, but that's why I think it's such an important place to be. It's always share education. There's always the general marketing rule, 80-20, 80% educational, 20% whatever. LinkedIn, it's almost like you can be 100% educational, because people are going to come to you when you're telling them, this is what I do. This is why I do it. This is why me. I work with a lot of business coaches. And I think one of the reasons I do that is because there are hundreds of thousands of business coaches on LinkedIn. So it's very important for you to tell your story of why you, because a business coach is going to be a personal connection. You're going to find that person. You're like, man, I like his personality. He gets me, or she gets me. She understands what I'm trying to say. And then you're going to make that connection, right? So that's why I think when you're on LinkedIn, it's so important to tell people who you are, and what you know. So I always say I give away my best stuff for free, because I do. I mean, I hope maybe you don't need me, but somebody will. And when they do, they can come my way and I can help them get started. That's something else I really like to do, is not do things for you, but I really like to teach you how to do it, because nobody knows your story better than you. Sometimes people just need help telling it.
Yeah, and you've actually helped me in that realm as well, right? Not a lot. There's some people that don't mind telling their story, but there's others that struggle with it. Like recently, something happened this year for me, and I'm proud of it, but I have a challenge putting it out here. I'm even having a challenge talking about it at the moment. I do once on occasion talk about it on one-to-one sort of basis when people ask more about what I do. But it's kind of, as you can tell, I'm kind of awkward feeling about it. And I'm not embarrassed about it, but I'm awkward about it.
And I think most people are, right? Nobody really likes to talk about themselves. I don't like to talk about myself either. A lot of the stuff you see is something someone else helped me write. So this is not like I'm the most amazing writer in the world or the most amazing strategy person. It's more about seeing things from the outside, because you can never see things from the inside out. There's just so much that you miss because you've got your own context. But also, like, it is, when I looked at everything you did, like, this is so easy to do because you're such a great person. But you can tell it in your voice, like, this is not my normal gig to tell people how great I am, but I got to say, I'm really proud of what I just did. And I'd like to share with everyone that I am now a master coach, or whatever other many certifications and awards that you have. So, but it is important to share that information because people need to know you. They need to know. And it's good too that you're proud of what you do. That not just that you get these awards, but that you're proud of it, because it shows people that you worked hard and you truly have a passion for what you're doing. So sometimes it's just the way you look at it.
Well, okay, I didn't. Thank you.
No, really, I mean that way.
I know, and I take it that way. I just wasn't expecting that, so thank you for that. When I was listening to you, I was thinking about something that supports what I'm doing, and I'm going to LA in September to hang out with a group of mastermind people, and it's an interesting thing. Talk about a story. Anyway, he's a billionaire, and it's really low price of entry to go to hang out and have a 3-day weekend with him and the group that he's putting together. And we've all been hanging out in a Zoom meeting, listening to him, actually having somebody else. It's like a book club. And they tell his story, and he's there at the end when he's available, and he's been there for 15 minutes to 2 hours to be with us, to share. He's not telling us what to say, he's telling us what to think, or not what to think, but how to think. So the process that was going to happen in September is somebody's going to, and it could be me, I could put together a business plan and say, I got this idea for a business, here it is. If I win the vote to be the one company that's going to get supported by him and his team, and now all of us are part of that as it grows, we have an investment in the success of the business in this weekend mastermind. And as that one business gets elevated to success and it gets sold, all of us that have shares in this, and it's not a huge amount of money, it's going to get a chunk of that. But more important than that is what you learn and who you get to know by hanging out with like-minded people.
Yes. And that's something you can do. That's another reason I like that LinkedIn stuff, the groups. I think groups are really underused because what you just said, hanging out with like-minded people. If you get in those LinkedIn groups, there's so much that can just get you thinking, think outside your own box, and you're just sharing ideas with people. So I guess that's going back to why LinkedIn. I don't feel like it's a judgy, look at me, this is what I did. I feel like it's, hey, this is what I know. What do you think? This is what I'm trying to do. Do you have any ideas? I screwed this up. Just don't you screw it up too. So I think it's all those things together. I really find it to be a useful tool. So
what are some of the other ways that you help unlock potential for your clients, leveraging the LinkedIn platform so that they can get the snowball effect?
I think the biggest thing that you have to do is pull all the pieces together. So, and you initially, and I always say, it doesn't matter if you're a business owner, business development, sales, it doesn't matter if you're a student, you should have a really good LinkedIn profile. Because if you've ever Googled yourself, one of the first things that shows up is your LinkedIn profile link. That's just because LinkedIn's SEO is that good and it's free. So why not use it, right? And you definitely don't want to click on that and it be empty. So no matter what your situation, you should have a good profile. And that's the beginning of telling your story. The most underestimated section is the about section on LinkedIn. because that is exactly the place to tell your story, right? You can get that in there in a few minutes. It's one of my favorite things to do is to help people write their about sections, because that's your time to tell everybody why you. I mean, nobody's going to read it unless they're really thinking about working with you or getting to know you anyway. So I think that's an important piece. And once you get that profile together, the next thing you have to do is start some type of posting strategy, sharing information, sharing things you know, starting conversations, asking questions, whatever it is. But that way people get to see you, right? If people don't see you, they don't. How many times have you thought someone pops up and like Lucas, I'm going to pick on him because I loved Lucas. We were great friends. He was a client of mine many, many years ago, but I don't think about Lucas every day. But if you post on LinkedIn and he popped up and I saw his name, I'm like, oh yeah, Lucas. And if I need this, I'm going to go see him because it's popping up in my head. So that's an important piece to keep in mind, and then to nurture that relationship. So they're getting to know you because they're seeing your post and whatnot. But then the private messaging is an important piece too. Pop in and say hi to people that you haven't talked to in a while. Pop in and say, what are you up to? You know, maybe you find out they have a problem you can solve and you didn't even know it. So I think those 3 steps all together is what really helps the snowball roll.
Cool. Can you recap those in bullets for everybody right now?
Yes, I can. So you want to optimize your profile. You want to have some type of posting strategy, and then you want to keep a messaging strategy.
Awesome. Just to make sure anybody who didn't write notes, but they can go back and watch this another time. I just want to hammer that in there. There's a quote from Izzy. Look at that. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go together or go far, go together, right?
Yeah.
That acronym team, together everyone achieves more.
I love it. And I think that's part of what we can all do on LinkedIn, and also supporting each other, right? Like that's another part of LinkedIn is so also important is the engagement. I kind of put the top 3 there, but if I was going to add a 4th, it would be engaging with other people, because that's what helps your algorithm get moving, right? So I am a LinkedIn Advisor Hub. I am LinkedIn Creator. I ask all the time about algorithm, and everyone will tell you, they're like, if they tell you they know the algorithm, they're lying to you, because we all work here and we don't know. It changes all the time. It's intricate. Nobody really knows what's going on. But what is clear is that if you're engaging in information, your posts are going to be more likely to be seen. So
cool.
Then you're seen.
And Eric, I just want to put you up there. Started a mastermind group a whole bunch of years ago because of the pandemic, and out of that, together we all achieved more. And I just want to give him a plug for in making that happen way back when. And who else is here? Eric, he's kind of a funny guy.
He emailed me. Okay, Eric, I'll look for you. I'll actually read that one.
And then we have a Facebook user saying, hey, coach, I'm not sure who that is. StreamYard needs to have you give them permission so that you show up. So whoever you are, thank you for being here. Facebook user. Yeah, there's a lot we could talk about in terms of LinkedIn. It can be a complicated beast, it seems. But I use the messaging a lot with different people. I've got a couple of clients that I use. Now they're clients that we communicate there, just touch base. Matter of fact, I'm not going to bring it up, but I'm not, because I don't share things. It's like our private conversations. But I have something I ask most people that I work with or want to work with or presenting to or share an idea with. What are your whiffles? And that's not waffles with maple syrup on it. It's whiffles, what you feel like sharing. And the reason I do that is that I find that, and it's been proven by, what's the doctor's name? Sean Aker. He says that 75% of the time we're in the negative space. Our amygdala, that negative fight and flight brain part, shows up. And even though I know that, Angie, it still shows up for me because something new that's out of my comfort zone, and it raises up and thinks of all the reasons why I shouldn't do it. And then I calm down and then think of all the reasons why I should do it and want to do it. And then I go do it. And
I think, that's something, what I'd like to share, what I feel like sharing. Just when you said that, it reminds me, this whole thing about using LinkedIn, I think a lot of people don't do it because they're overwhelmed by it. Because like you said, it pops up, you get negative, you're like, one more thing, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I would just like to, my beginner tip to everybody is, if you're not used to using it, you're not in it, download it, put it on your phone, and open it for 5 minutes a day. Just flip through it. Don't even start posting. Don't even reply. Don't start connecting. Just start easy. Just start looking at it. And I think if you do it 5 minutes a day, you're going to see something that's interesting. And then you start to get more into it. You start to be more comfortable. And then you take your next step and say, okay, well, I'm on here. People are going to start looking at me. How can I make my profile look good? How can I tell my story on my profile? So just take it one step at a time. And don't be afraid to write and put stuff out there. I mean, some people don't even use punctuation. It's fine, right? Go for it.
Yeah. What I've done for myself, it's not a LinkedIn tool, but I have Grammarly. I'm sure there's other platforms, but that was the one I was introduced to. And it actually corrects even my messages. It's kind of cool. Right?
I use it too, because how many times have you typed something, because it's so clear in your head, you don't even see it on paper, especially things like they and the or something like that.
Or
I can't tell you how many, or there, right? Which one was it? Yeah. So I use it all the time. I mean, it's just a good way to catch something. So, and there's still slips, right? I just posted something the other day, and it said, let me know. It was supposed to say, let me know. And it said, let me now, right? Grammarly apparently liked it anyway. But big deal, right? So I'm supposed to be the big expert. I make mistakes too. Everybody makes mistakes. What's important is you get out there and you do it. You get out there and you start doing something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've done the now for no, but I've done the no for no.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I wanted NO instead of the other no.
Yeah.
Crazy talk, right? Absolutely crazy. What I want to do now is bring up your LinkedIn. And there we are. And so people can read it, because that's way too small. I'm going to go bring that up. It's right here.
It's very small.
Yeah. Small. How can you read where my cursor is right now? That's hard. So it's linkedin.com/in/Angie Snowball. Pretty simple. So there you are. And it's talking about, let's tell the world your story. Is there anything you wanted me to point out and show, or just...
No, not necessarily. Just, I'm obviously well known for LinkedIn because I love it. I love using it. I love seeing other people win and do well there. So that article is a good one to read if you're new to LinkedIn. That social selling index kind of breaks it down real simple. I'm not a very fluffy person. So I try to take out all the fancy stuff and say XYZ, let's go. And then it kind of explains like how to, if you're getting started. I would also say a lot of people check their social selling index. Super easy to do, by the way. Just Google LinkedIn social selling index, gives you the link. And they're like, oh my God, mine's a 36. Well, guess what? Almost everybody who starts out is. And by the time, I do have a LinkedIn profile optimization on my website, you can just download it. It tells you kind of how to do it. There's 20 points. And most people go up at least 10 points just by doing those things. So it's very easy to get started. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't be sad because you got a 40. It's pretty normal. It goes up pretty quickly.
Do me a favor.
Yes.
In our private chat, type in your website URL, and I'll post it in the banner here, and then it'll be right if you type it versus if I type it. And then what I'll do is I will do my darndest to get it on the screen here.
It's pretty easy. It's angiesnowball.com.
Yeah, but the way I type.
I know. It could be wrong. You'd be surprised how many times people ask you how to spell snowball.
How many times do we ask you?
Yeah, like infinitely. Anytime you order a pizza, can't you say how do you spell it? You throw it at someone.
Oh, that's not what I want. Look at that. Crazy.
There you go.
I got part of it right. Now I want to go back here. We're doing this on the fly, ladies and gentlemen, so bear with me. Normally I have this in advance, but I forgot.
And also to Coach Phil's defense, this has only been live 2-3 weeks. So I just now switching things over. In fact, you may get a button that takes you in a circle. So just be patient with it. It's a work in progress. Speaking of just going, it's a work in progress. But you should be able to like book discovery calls. You can book discovery calls and coaching sessions if that's something that anybody's interested in. And then there's a few things you can download there about how to help your profile.
So when I look at this, because of something you just said,
Mm-hmm.
Angie's Snowball.
There you go. See, it's all the way you look at something. It's all about perspective. You know, when I first started learning German, I would do like that because German words are so long, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'd get in there and I'd find like 6 combinations. Like, well, it could be a white bunny. It could be the bunny white. They're like, it has nothing to do with the white bunny. I said, excuse me. I was like, well, I saw a white bunny in that word. So it was really, really hard for me to learn German because of that too.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was in Miami at a conference, our sales awards conference, and we met a couple of ladies that were from Germany, and they shared a word, and I don't remember what it was. I just remember it was too long to fit on the screen. I don't even remember what it meant, but I couldn't even say it. Anyway, they were telling us how difficult the German language is, and I agree. It seemed to me to be very difficult, although I've heard people say that English is a challenge as well.
Well, I think English is hard because we change our rules all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we make phrases. Phrases are probably one of the hardest things to get used to. But yeah, English can be. The basics are easy. Going to the next level of conversation is difficult. That's why I started living in America. That was the hardest piece. Like you can get the basics anywhere online out of a book. That's easy to do. It's that next level. It's hard to connect the dots. It's hard to start the conversations, to work with idioms and phrases. And that's where things are difficult.
You said idioms, not idiots, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Although I'm not gonna say they're not both there.
Okay. All righty. Well, would you have one nugget you would share with our audience?
You want me to share one more? Sorry, you cut out for just a second.
Oh, yeah. Is there one thing that you could pass on to our audience? A bit of sage wisdom from you?
Yeah. So I would say the one thing I would say is if you do not have a LinkedIn profile, get one. It's such a free, easy way to get visibility. Whether you're looking for a job, employees, prospects, business partners, referral people, information. It's a free, powerful tool. So don't be afraid of it. Put it on your phone, look at it 5 minutes a day, and just get started. It can be fun.
Simple, right?
Simple.
Doesn't have to be difficult. Matter of fact, if it's hard, I find that hard isn't the strategy. Ask any fly. You know how you've seen flies in your house, and they're trying to escape through your window that doesn't open.
Yes.
And they go, zzz, boom, zzz, boom, zzz, boom. And they do that until it's insane, right? And they end up either we end their life or they're exhausted, and we find them on the windowsill. So doing things hard is not the strategy. Effort's required for sure, but I think it's strategic effort. Having somebody like you, Angie, to help people with their LinkedIn strategy is probably a good idea. So now they know a little bit about you, and it resonates with you out there in the internet world, the LinkedIn world, YouTube world, Facebook world, wherever we are being live streamed. You know now how to get hold of her. So,
thank you so much for bringing me on your show. I've been excited for this whole week. I'm all excited about it. I love working with you, and I knew it would be fun. Even your fly thing, I started laughing before the story came out because I knew it was going to be good. So,
and I got that out of a book called U Squared by Pritchett Price. He wrote it, and it's a great story. Just not to say that we don't have to do things. There is action and activity. But if we do it with ease and flow versus hard, like the fly, we don't die on the windowsill. We can find creative and innovative ways to get to where we're trying to get to. What's the problem we have, and what's the solution we're looking for? And if we have that mindset, we might bump into Angie and get our problem solved with LinkedIn.
yeah.
So thanks for being here. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
I'm going to wrap up the show, and we'll talk to you in a minute.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Well, I don't know if you got some snowball ideas, but I did. I'm going to recap what I heard. In mail, watch out if you're getting them from there. And when you're presenting your ideas, don't connect and pitch. Lead with value. Be sincerely interested in people. LinkedIn groups. I'm going to go check that out. Optimize, post regularly, send messages, and engage, which I really like all of those. So there's a couple of things can help you in your LinkedIn social media snowball effect. I want to bring up something now that ends the show every time, and it's this little word. It says wonderful. The you in there is you representing you. You are wonderful and you are unique. So make sure that you go out and be your unique, wonderful self. Until next time, I'm Coach Phil, and this is the Business Renovator.
I get shit done, I have fun. It's my time and I'm the one. I'm